chat session, if you can hear me. Great, great, great. Father Max, welcome. Father Max, welcome. So we're just going to wait for others to come in. We have one of our resource person here already. So welcome, Joke, Messi, Omotayo, welcome. It's just, you guys just pray for me. I don't know. My connections, my network is, I don't understand what is happening. And I'm switching, in between two networks. So just pray, God, please hold this network over, hold this network. Right. So we can chat using the chat session. People are coming in, so we just wait to admit as many as we can. I was thinking people would have been in the waiting room already, but it's fine. It's okay. We'll just wait to admit as many as we can and before we proceed. While we are waiting, how has the remote working been? Working from home, how has it been? How has working from home been? Oh, are we enjoying it? Does it look like it's a vacation, public holiday?
Because let people know they have to unmute their microphone before they talk. Otherwise, some people will be talking and
people,
everybody will know.
People would they would make use of the chat. We are communicating through the chat. It's only
chat. Okay.
Yes. So
okay, it's fine then.
How has remote work been? Working from home, how has it been? What has been the challenges? Father Max, I unmuted you so that I can hear.
Oh, thanks so much. It's good to join this webinar. I look forward to it. Working from home has been, funny. It's boredom almost wants to set in if one is not careful, but then it's also an opportunity to just slow things down and do some planning and all of that. So it's been good.
Yeah. For some of us, we love it. we've been on it for a while, so we are enjoying it. Interesting. They have people showing up already.
Can you hear me very well? you hear me very well? Is the audio good?
Yes, we can hear, but you can be better. Your audio can be better.
Oh, okay, okay. Let me switch to the computer's microphone. How about now?
It's still the same thing.
Is it better now?
It's better. Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Let's just keep praying under our breath that our connection would be intact, our internet would cooperate, and we can have a smooth conversation. We're waiting for. We have how many people do we have here? I think we have about 7, 8, 10 of us here, and okay, we have about we have about 10 of us here, and let's just wait to admit a few more people, and then we can just um, proceed. We can start. I know that a lot of people would not join this webinar because people would not be willing to go to follow through with the procedure for joining this webinar. And for as many as are not willing to follow through with the procedure for joining this webinar, it only means one thing. They're not the kind of people we need here. And what's the procedure? It's a simple procedure. Somebody saw it and said, Busola, you do have to do this. You want to share, make us tech compliant. And I said, yes, we have to buckle up. We have to buckle up. Welcome, Fola, one of our other resource person is here. Welcome. So I said, yes, we have to buckle up. I mean, now we can all see, the advantage of tech. We can see what tech, what's, the benefits we can get from, being tech savvy. So why wouldn't you want to go the tech way? Why wouldn't you want to understand technology and how it works? So, I mean, I said it's important that, I had to ensure that was in place so that as many as would want to, they would get in, because I mean that's the only way we can drag ourselves as lawyers into this upskilling and into getting a hang of the tech, because we're in the tech age, and with COVID-19 we know that we don't have any other choice but to embrace and adapt to the tech way. So I ensure that whoever is going to join this webinar would have to download this the application, the Zoom application, and get to familiarize themselves with it. And so I know that to that extent a lot of people would not be joining us here. And I mean, if you really want to get a hang of what we'll be doing here, you should then go all the way to ensure that you get the things you need to get done. So I think we have all our resource person here. We'll just wait. We're about 15 participants now. I'll just wait till about it's 1:17. I'll just wait till about 1:25 to admit more people, and then we would proceed. Is that okay, everyone? Oh, Mercy says she can't hear anything. Mercy, you have to check what are you using? Are you using your mobile device, or are you using your laptop? You would have to check, go to the bottom, scroll, click on the bottom of whatever device you're using, and then you would see the options that would come up. So you would see the option for the mic. You have to click on it and then click on call in device. I think so. I think that's what you click on. So you have to do that so that you'll be able to get a hang of this, right? Mercy, is that clear? Can somebody also explain to her in the comment section, in the chat box? Oh, great, great. She says she can hear now. Great. Great. So we are 17. We just wait for 6 more minutes. Yeah, and then we would proceed. We'll just wait for 6 more minutes and we would proceed. Thank you everyone for joining. I can see a lot of SLB community members here. I'm so excited. Great, great, great.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Hello, I connected. Yes, I am. Good afternoon, everyone.
You're supposed to mute ourselves, please. We don't want noise from the background. It's 1:20 now. We have just 5 minutes to go. The moment once it's 1:25, we would just proceed. We have a team of us here. I just want us to, get in as many as we can before we proceed for the conversation. We're not going to waste so much of a time. So we just have 4 more minutes to admit as many as can come in before we start. And then once it's 1:25, we would get started. How many of us are using Zoom for the first time? How many of us are doing this for the first time? Please, let's see your hands. Talk to us in the chat room. How many of us are doing this for the first time? Or how many of us even had to download the Zoom application for the first time? How many of us? Please, there's a chat box we can, use for conversation. So let's see. Let us know how many of us are doing this webinar or are getting on a webinar for the first time, or you had to download Zoom application for the first time. Let me know. Talk to me, talk to us. Oh, people are raising their hands. I don't know. Are you raising your hand to say yes, you're using it for the first time? Or I can see Olatutu's hands. I can see Adebola's also raising hands. You can use the chat box. We have the chat box down, your screen, so you can just make use of the chat box. Right. So it's 1:22. We have 3 more minutes to go, and we will just go straight into our conversation once it is 1:25 p.m. Right. Okay, we are 19 now, 2 minutes to go, and in 2 minutes from now, we would dive straight into our conversation. So many people can see my shirt. I'm wearing my SLB shirt. Can we see it? Can we see my shirt? I'm wearing my SLB shirt. Proudly SLB. Strictly law business.
Why is it doing so? Which one is?
Please, you can't unmute yourself so that there would be no distractions from the background.
Why is my microphone muted?
It has to be muted. We have to mute you. Everyone is muted. We can't. All participants are muted because there'll be noise from the background, and we can't afford to have, noise from our various backgrounds, right? So, right, 1 more minute and we'll jump straight into our conversation for today. Are we excited to be here? What are our expectations? Please just talk to us. Use the chat box. What are your expectations? What do you hope to learn? What do you hope to take away from today's conversation? What are you looking forward to? And what particular topic are you really, really concerned about that you actually want to listen to, or which of the resource person are you fascinated about and you want to learn from or you want to listen to? So let's just hear from us. Right, is 1:25 and we will just dive straight into it. Great. 21 participants. We're good. So welcome everyone. Welcome everybody. I am excited that we are doing this. I'm excited that we are doing this, and it's going to be a great time. It's going to be a great use of your time. Everyone is going to take something away from this conversation. It's not going to be a waste of your time. I can promise you that. And I'm sure by the time we'll leave here, or by the end of this conversation, we would all become equified. Like I said, we'll become equified, and we would no longer practice or would no longer relate or interact with people the way we used to before. We'll become better people, better professionals, better lawyers. Like Father Mark says here, he says EQ is a top 3 top skill for this generation. I'm hoping to learn more about EQ from your unique perspectives. Right, thank you. There's so much you would learn. So right about now, I'm going to go straight into the conversation, and I have my co-facilitators here with me. I have with me Fola Alade. Fola, welcome. Thank you for agreeing to do this. Fola is, so let me just do a little introductions about, resource persons, but they would also still introduce themselves. So Fola is actually a good friend, is a good friend of mine, is a good friend of SLV. He Christianed me SLB. so Fola doesn't call me Busola. He doesn't call me any other name apart from SLB. So I've gladly accepted the name. And Fola is also a certified emotional intelligence specialist. He's a mediator. He's a negotiator, and he's a businessman. Yes, he likes to call himself a businessman, and he calls himself not your regular lawyer. I'm sure you will see it from his t-shirts by the time he takes the floor. So what's Fola, thank you so much. And interestingly, I just, my spontaneous self just decided to have this webinar after my experience at the police station on Wednesday. I thought about it, that something changed about me. Something changed between the last time I was at the police station and, on Wednesday when I was at the police station. And I thought that what changed? What was the difference? The difference was that the fact that I had become more empowered. I had acquired more skills and intelligence, more, knowledge. I am now equified. I'm an emotional intelligence specialist. I'm emotionally intelligent. So I didn't have to go to the police station to start asserting, any right, or to start claiming or showing or speaking big grammar to them that, oh, I'm a lawyer, I'm this, I'm that. No, I didn't have to do that. In fact, I even made friends with them. So and I thought to it that, okay, why sharing that experience? I just said, why can't we have, a conversation about emotional intelligence and help lawyers to become to become more, to become emotionally intelligent, for those who do not, who are yet to be emotionally intelligent. And, that was it. And I just put the word out there on LinkedIn and in the SLB community, and I went to bed. And then I just remembered again that, why should I have to do this alone? Why do I have to do this all by myself when I have friends like Fola and Joke, who are also fellow emotional intelligence specialist. So I just, chatted them up and I said, guys, let's do this. And they, graciously agreed to doing it. And here we are today. So it wasn't something that we had actually planned to do. It wasn't something that we had planned to do, from the beginning. No, was just spontaneous. And, if you know me, once I get an idea, once I come about anything, I want to execute immediately. If it's going to work, fine. If it will not work, then I know I have tried, and then I just move on, right? So thank you, Fola, for agreeing to do this. And so Joke also, Joke is my, I'm sure everyone knows by now that Joke is my favorite, he's my very good friend. And so I can bully her here and there. So once I just say, Joke, let's do this, she has no choice. So I want to appreciate you. I want to thank you. Joke is also a certified emotional intelligence specialist. Joke is what is your future map advantage strategist. So if you're thinking of getting into a new line of business or thinking of starting up any venture or anything at all, and you actually do not know how to go about it, or you don't know what to do or how to put it together, Joke is your go-to person. Joke's mind works, it works really, really fast. You can come up with whatever idea you have, just, sound it with Joke, and she would so much expand it, and you won't believe, that small idea you thought you had can be that big. And she's also your favorite cheerleader. She would cheer and keep cheering you up until you execute that goal and you manifest your dreams. So thank you so much, Joke. I do not take this for granted. Thank you for being here with me. Right, so I'll go straight into it. And emotional intelligence. Why do we need to be emotionally intelligent? In this time and age, we cannot but acquire some soft skills, particularly as professionals in the legal service industry. It's important that we're not just depending, or we're not solely dependent on our technical skills. Anyone can be a lawyer. In fact, we have several, or we have thousands of lawyers. But what's going to be the differentiator? What's going to differentiate you, from the other lawyer? What's going to distinguish you? What would set you apart from every other lawyer? What are those things, that people would see, or that would stand you out? Or even in your relating with people, your management of people, of your team, if you are a team lead, if you're a principal, if you are, a boss, whatever you are, or even in relating with your clients also. We could have some very difficult clients, but how do you manage them? How do you relate with them? So these are the things that we'll talk about today. And that's why it's very important for us, to be prepared, like we always say, in our emotional intelligence alumni group. Right. So I'll be starting. I'm your host. So I'll be starting, and then I will hand over to Fola after I'm done. So right now we are starting at about 1:32. I'm going to run through my slides, and so that everyone would be able to follow me along as I begin. So I said leading with emotional intelligence. Can we see my screen? Can we see my screen? Let me know. Can we see my screen? So so it is leading with emotional intelligence, my topic. Why do you need to lead with emotional intelligence? As a leader, we are all leaders. It's not until maybe we are all leaders in our rights, whether be it at your workplace, be it at home, be it, in any organization you find yourself. We are all leaders. And it's important that in our leadership service, we are able to lead, the people who are around us, the people who are following us, the people who are working with us. We are able to lead them with some sort of emotional, with a high level of emotional intelligence, right? So it's important that we are able to lead with emotional intelligence. Right. So it's important, right, that we're able to lead with emotional intelligence. So why that's my topic. I'm talking about, leading with emotional intelligence. Great. Who is Busola Ajala? Meet me. So some of us, know me already, but for the purpose or for the benefit of those who do not know me, who are meeting me for the first time. I am your host today, and I am the host of this webinar, and I am also the facilitator for the webinar at this moment. My name is Busola Ajala. I am a lawyer. I am a business development strategist. I'm also the founder of Strictly Law Business. Some of us know Strictly Law Business, and for those of us who do not know Strictly Law Business is what is the platform by which we train, we educate, we equip lawyers with strategies, with tips, for them to grow a profitable law practice. And we also have a business academy where we teach all of, the skills you need to grow a profitable law practice. I am also a certified emotional intelligence specialist, and that's why I am privileged to be taking you in this webinar today. I'm a trainer. I train on, various areas on, with respect to law, with respect to emotional intelligence, and some other things that I may not be able to talk about here. Also an international conference convener. Like you all know, I am the convener of the Audacious Business of Law Conference. I am also an international speaker. I've spoken in Nigeria and outside of Nigeria. And I am a fun-loving person, as some of you may have seen so far in this room. Right, so that's who your resource person is. Great. Next thing says, in a recent study, when asked what are the top issues people face at work, leaders said that 76% are on the people and relational side, while only 24% are on the finance and technical side, right? So when a survey was carried out that why are people having issues at work? What is wrong? What is going on? Is it money? Is it that the salaries are not being enough? Is it not enough? Is it that, the work is too tedious? What exactly, is what's the issue? What's the challenge? Why are people facing, why people having issues at work? And, by the time they carried out the study, they found out that it was relational issue. It was, interpersonal relationship. It was, issues of relating with one another, one employee or one colleague or one staff relating with the other. That was, the cause of, the issues. So it wasn't about finance. It wasn't about, salaries not being enough. It wasn't about people not getting satisfaction, but it was about, relating with each other. You need to relate with somebody, maybe as, a lawyer in the legal department, you need to relate with your colleague in the finance department, or you need to relate with your colleague in the marketing department. And you guys cannot just, you don't seem to get along. You're having one issue or the other. That was, what was found out. That was, what the survey, showed, that it was relational issue. It was people issues. People having issues, having challenges with one another, right? And that's the result of the survey. And then this emotional intelligence is a summary of your relationship first with yourself. So I tell people, you need to first understand yourself. You need to first know yourself before you begin to say you want to know another person, or you want to manage, or you want to relate with another person. If you do not have a sound understanding of who you are, then it will be difficult for you to relate with other people. So for instance, I know myself, I know I am aware of myself. I know myself. I know the things that can trigger, negative emotions within me, and, the things that would trigger the positive emotions within me. And by the time I'm getting to that point, that thing or somebody is going to trigger a negative emotion within me, I already know. So what do? I walk away from it. But how am I able to know? Because I've come to a consciousness of who I am. I've come to a consciousness of myself, of my personality, and I know the things that would, get me worked up. I know the things that would get me angry, and I stay away from it. I know the people that may come, into my environment or come into my cycle and will get me angry or get me irritated or get me worked up. When I know those people, when I have been able to identify those people, why do I need to interact with them, or why do I even need to come close or to allow them come close to my, to my environment or to have contact with me? I look for ways to, stay off them, or I look for ways to ensure that whatever their actions are, I would not react, but I will respond. I'm going to explain the difference between react and respond as we go on. So that's emotional intelligence, a summary of your own relationship first with yourself. You must first understand yourself. You must first know yourself, identify yourself, choose yourself, know the things that would, the things that makes you happy, the things that makes you sad, the things that would trigger a negative emotions within you, within you, or the people that would even trigger negative emotions within you, or even an environment. Some people, immediately they get into a particular environment, their mood switch. right? Their mood will just change immediately. And why? That's because that environment may not be empowering, or it could be that environment reminds you of something, in the past, a significant emotional experience you've had in the past. And the moment you keep coming in contact with that environment, that negative emotion will just be triggered within you. If you are able to understand yourself, then you would know that it is this environment that is triggering that particular negative emotion. I give an example. So I found out that when I it was until I became self-aware, until I'm able to understand, until I was able to understand myself. It was then I realized that I had a pattern in losing friends. And what happened, because I am big on pushing people to achieve their goals, to do the things they want to do, to motivate people. The moment you share your visions, your ideas with me, I just keep pushing you. I won't allow you to rest and all of that. So because of that, when people come to me for one issue or the other, I keep advising, giving advice, giving tips, and I will keep following up to say, have you done it? Have you not done it? Have you done this? Have you done that? And when they don't do it, or they come to me for an advice and I advise them, and when they don't take to the advice and something goes wrong, by the time they come back to me, I'll tell them that, but I told you, you see, I told you. And then I will just, talk to them anyhow. And because, that moment wasn't a moment for me to, start telling them what you did is bad, or I told you. That moment should be a moment of empathy. I should be empathetic towards them, but I wouldn't. I would say, oh, but I told you, good for you. So that made a lot of my friends to keep away from me. So I realized that what is happening. But then I had to now realize, it was until I came to understanding myself, I realized that it was a pattern that had occurred before, in my family. And the moment I got that knowledge, the moment I came to that place of self-awareness, I began taking steps to ensure that I do not repeat that pattern again. Right. So I'm trying to explain to us, what knowing yourself, what having a relationship with yourself would do for you, right? And that way would also help you in relating with other people. So the moment I was able to identify that particular aspect of my life, what did I do? Whenever anyone comes to me for advice or comes to me for anything, and so I just give them my advice, and I don't even enforce it on them anymore. I don't even ask. I don't go back to follow up to say, oh, did you do it or did you not do it? What happened? How did it go? I didn't. I stopped doing that, right? And when they come back to me to give me the report, I say, oh, great, 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 great. What was I doing? I was choosing myself. I was, I was managing my relationship with myself and with my friends. That way, a lot of my friends began to gravitate towards me because I was no longer the condemning Busola, the Busola that would condemn you. I was not a Busola that would be empathetic towards you and would listen to you and would chip in, advice and would not follow up, right? But when you come back, I'll say, oh, fine. So what can we do going forward? What else can we do? How can you do it? But I will not, follow up like I used to do before, and then I will get angry if you do not take to all of the things that I've said. No, so that way I was able to preserve my relationship with people. I stopped having issues of friends, gravitating away from me, right? So that's it about understand having a relationship with with yourself first as an individual, and then with other people you relate with from time to time. The moment you understand yourself and you have a relationship with yourself, it will be easy for you to relate with other people. It will be easy for you to have conversations, have relationships, even have issues with other people, and you'll be able to resolve those issues as adults without any animosity or hard feelings. So that's what emotional intelligence is all about, right? Sorry, give me a second. I just want to admit people. Right. So I said emotional intelligence is also your ability to be in control or take charge always. Your ability to be in control or take charge always. So let me explain what I meant by the difference between respond and react. So say for instance, somebody comes to me and begins to talk down at me. Okay, thankfully we are all on social media, and the ways people can bash each other on social media, the way people can talk down on each other on social media, and then for no reason, someone you didn't do anything to just jumps on your post and begins to say nasty things at you, and you are like, I didn't do anything to this person, I don't even know this person, why would you? And you just go all out. I will give it back to you, I will deal with you, I will do this one. That way, you are no longer in control of yourself, you're no longer in control of your emotions. You have given control to that person, because you've allowed the person's behavior, the person's attitude, the person's action to determine your own response. You've allowed the person to determine the way the things you say. That's where you have been acted, because the person acted, then you reacted. The person acted in a certain way and you reacted in a certain way, so you have reacted. But assuming the person says all the nasty things in the world, other people even join the person in saying all the nasty things and all of that, and you do not say a word, or you just say, oh, I don't understand what you guys are talking about. Do you want to explain to me the roots of all these things you are saying? Do you want to explain to me in what way did I offend you? That you have not reacted, that way you have responded. That way you are in control, you are in charge. You have not allowed their own behavior or their own actions to determine the way you respond, to determine the things you say. You have chosen to say, regardless of whatever you say or however you react.
Hi, is this just from my network?
I am back.
No,
I am
it's not
back.
actually. It's not actually. It's back now.
I'm back. Right. So let me share my screen. Right. So as I was saying, I said you're no longer you're not given the control to the person. You are in control. By the time you react, sorry, let me just get my thoughts back. So I said, right, when people bash you on social media, say nasty things to you, and you do not say a word, rather they try to inquire from them, what happened? What did I do? Where did I go wrong? Where is this coming from? Sorry, let me just ensure that this is being recorded. I think it is. Right. So you are choosing yourself. You're choosing the right. You are not giving them the opportunity to control you. Rather, you are in control. You are the one. You are the one determining or dictating the tone. Right? You are not giving people the opportunity to to make you get angry. You are deciding that regardless of whatever you do, regardless of whatever you say, regardless of however you even act or treat how you treat me, this is who I am, and this is what I would do. This is how I would respond. This is what I would say. I would not allow you, control me. Like we have the remote control. The TV is on its own, and then you're just using the remote control to, control it, change to this station, change to another station, and all of that. When you allow what people say or what people do to get into you, and based on that you react, then you are no longer in control of your life. Those people are now the ones remote controlling you. those people are not the ones remote controlling you. You had surrendered the control of your life to them. It's just like, when you're being driven in a bus and you're not the one driving. The driver can, like, commercial buses you board, and the driver is, going, say, you boarded a bus going to Lekki, and all of a sudden the driver is going towards BI, and you're like, but I said I'm going to Lekki. Why are you taking me to BI? At that moment, you're not the one in control. The driver is in control, so he can decide to take you anywhere. So that's the way it is. When we act based on what people say, or we react based on the way people treat us, or we react to what people say about us, then we are no longer in control of our lives. We're no longer in control of our destiny. We have surrendered the control of our life to those people, to what they are saying. So that's the difference between response and react. When you respond, then you are saying, regardless of what you say, this is who I am, and this is how I choose to behave. This is the way I'm going to respond, right? But when you allow the things they say or the way they treat you to get into you, and then you begin to, you react, or you do things based on that, then you are reacting, then you've surrendered control to them. So I said it is your ability to be in control or take charge always. Be in control of your life and emotions, irrespective of whatever circumstances, whether good or bad. Whatever anybody says, whichever way they're going to treat you, ensure that at all times you are in control. You do not allow their words get into you and make you misbehave, or make you to become another to become another person. Rather, don't allow whatever people say, or it might even be a client. It might be a client, it might be a colleague at work, it might even be the judge, in the courtroom, or it might be your boss. But you do not allow whatever they say get into you and then make you to become who you are not. Are we following? Is it making sense to us? So, the pillars of emotional intelligence. The first pillar of emotional intelligence is self-awareness. I talked about that earlier. Self-awareness, your ability to know yourself, to be aware of yourself. Aware of yourself. Know who is Busola? What makes Busola Busola? What are the things that get Busola angry? What are the things that make Busola happy? What are the things that Busola will react negatively to or will react positively to? You need to understand yourself. You need to know yourself. You need to know who you are. There's a self-awareness test that one can take. I couldn't get the video into my slides. I tried as much as I could. I couldn't get it to my slides, but I'm going to drop, the name of that video. You can just get on YouTube to, look at it, and you can take, and there's several self-awareness tests. There's several self-awareness tests and ratings that we can take, but this is just a 2-hour webinar, so we won't be able to go into all of that. But I will drop the name of the video so we can always watch on YouTube. Self-awareness, you need to understand yourself. You need to know yourself. You need to know who you are. A lot of us don't know who we are. We don't have a clue about ourselves. And then when they say, who are you, or who is Busola, or who is Joke, or who is Ade, you don't know. You don't have a clue. So it's important that, we understand who we are. We become aware. So I give an example. Someone like Joke, she said, so I can tell Joke, calm down, calm down, calm down, calm down, and she will be all right. she won't flare up. But in the past, when you tell Joke, calm down meant something else to Joke. It meant something totally different to Joke, and she will. In fact, you're telling her to calm down, but she will not calm down. That is when she will, she will go above and beyond, right? But it took her, becoming self-aware for her to know that, okay, there's something, at the background of this word, calm down. There is something about this word, calm down, that whenever I hear it, triggers a negative emotion within me. So the moment she was able to figure that out and she dealt with it, today I can tell her calm down 20, 30, 40 times, and I'm sure, Joke, you will not, you won't be angry at me, right? Because she's not an empowered person. because she's, now self-aware. So we need to understand who we are. We need to get into the core of our being. And, there's a lot of questions, a lot of exercises you can take that would help you to understand who you are, get into the core of your being. By the time you get into the core of your being, you would find a lot of potentials within you will unleash. You will begin to see yourself in a new life, and you'll be like, oh, so I never knew I had this inside of me. I never knew I had this kind of potential. I never knew I had these capabilities. I never knew I had this competence. I never knew I could do, these things, I'm doing. And you see yourself in a totally different dimension. Things will become better. You would enjoy yourself better. You will love yourself better. I tell you before now, I didn't love myself. I felt that I knew that there was some great things I knew that was good, but I wasn't very confident about myself. I didn't know that I had beautiful potentials that I could do even all the things that I'm doing now. But it took me getting into a place of self-awareness, and you can see now that I am manifesting. I'm manifesting all of the talents, all of the potentials within me, and that's because I've gotten to a place of self-awareness. Now the second pillar is patience and perseverance. Patience or perseverance. A lot of us, particularly for us as lawyers, our patience and perseverance level has to be high. It has to be high. It has to be top notch, right? We have to persevere. We have to be patient. We have to, understand. We have to, get to that level where you become more tolerant with people, more tolerant with colleagues, more tolerant with clients, more tolerant. We need to get into that place. We need to, and there are also tests you can take, that will help you to become a more tolerant person, to become patient, to, persevere. And, I would also want to tie this perseverance to the place of delayed gratification. A lot of us, because we're not patient enough, we're not able to delay gratification. And at the end of the day, the things we actually need to, we eat our seed, we eat our harvest immediately. We eat our harvest immediately. We're not able to persevere. We're not able to delay gratification for the long term, for the long run. And so we eat our seed immediately. And we eat our fruit immediately. And there's nothing for us to eat at the time of harvest. In fact, there's no harvest because you have eaten you ate your seed. You ate your seed. You didn't allow it to germinate. You didn't allow it to grow to become a fruit. You ate your seed. So it's important that we learn patience and perseverance as lawyers. In this profession, it's not a get rich quick profession. So you have to pay your dues. You have to do the things you need to do so that at the end of the day you get you get the kind of results we want. So patience and perseverance is very, very important. Before now, I wasn't a very, very patient person. People know me, and the truth is, all of the things I'm saying now they're not things that you will get a hang of immediately. So it's not like after this 2-hour webinar, you will become emotionally intelligent. No, it's a journey. It's a journey. You keep working at it. Work in progress. Today you will fall, tomorrow you get up back again. Today you will fall, tomorrow you get back again. But it's at the back of your mind, it's in your consciousness that I can no longer be the person I used to be. I have to become a better person. And then you keep working at it, So, and that's why people will say, oh, you've changed. What happened? Because, it's a journey. It's gradual. So you keep going. So patience and perseverance is very, very important. There's also a video I would have showed us about, this patience and perseverance, but I would send everything. I'll drop it in the chat for us, right? Then expectation management. This one, it's important that there are some things that that, oh, these things I cannot manage your expectation. That's just the long and short of it. Manage your expectation. Don't think, my one uncle is somewhere, he's going to give me money, or a client is coming and this client is bringing a bill for 5 million naira, and because of that you are going to borrow 3 million, and you just spend it or do a lot of things. One brief is coming, the client is going to pay, the client has not paid yet, but you have borrowed money. It's important for us to manage our expectations so that by the time people disappoint us, we will not be broken. It's important we manage our expectations. That is also one of the pillars or quality of an emotionally intelligent person. You don't say, a brief is coming, that brief is worth 20 million, and because of that, you can borrow 10 million and just lavish it. Allow that money to get into your hands. Allow it to get into your hands before you think of, going to spend it and all of that. It's important that you're able to manage your expectations. It is because we're not able to manage our expectations that when people disappoint us, we lose it. We are broken. We are broken because we're not able to manage our expectations. We are broken when people disappoint us. But if you get to a place where you understand that people can disappoint, and it's okay because they are not God. Nobody is a God. Nobody, as we are not gods. So people can disappoint. So the moment you understand that yes, people can disappoint, or things can go wrong, or life can happen, like we are in COVID-19. Nobody expected that there will be COVID-19. And people had set plans for the year. We've had, goals, dreams, things we want to do. But yet, we have with COVID-19. How are we managing it? So it's important to understand how to we manage our expectations of people, of issues, of life, of things. It's important to manage our expectations. Awareness of others. This is very, very important. We need to be aware of other people. So it's not enough for you to know yourself or to be aware of yourself. You also need to be aware of others. And that's where empathy comes in. Empathy, when you are aware of other people, when you know that, so I will keep using Joke as an example, and I'm sure she doesn't mind. So sometimes I'm trying to reach Joke, and I will call. Our phone will keep ringing. She won't pick. I will do the normal WhatsApp, the normal the regular call. I will do WhatsApp call. I will do WhatsApp chat. But I already know that Joke's phone is on perpetual silence. So I'm not even angry that she didn't pick my call. I'm not angry. Sincerely, she's here. Sometimes I get angry with her. Just why are you not picking my call? Especially when it's in the case of emergency. But it is not the kind of anger that would make me, say nasty things or that would make me behave anyway. No. I might just say, you self, just a normal joke, between friends. But I'm already aware. I'm aware that Joke phone is on perpetual silence. And why? Because she has children, right? So it helps her to take charge of her environment. That's what works for her. So I'm not angry with her for that. Or sometimes, she picks the call and she picks, in a kind of tone. I know that, no, this is not the regular Joke. This is not the regular Joke. So I begin to ask her, what's happening? Are you fine? Are you okay? Are you good? Are you this? Are you that? Even if, I have things I actually want to say, please, can we mute ourselves? Because I'm hearing some voices at the background, trying to see how I can mute everyone. I think I muted everyone, but I don't know what you guys are doing to me. So because I know that I already understand Joke, so I know that this is not the regular Joke. So if she talks in a way, I'm able to say no, this is not Joke. Or she talks nasty at me, I say no, this is not Joke. She doesn't do this. She doesn't do that. So I'll begin to ask what happened. Are you fine? Are you okay? Is everything fine? Is everything all right? Or I may not even talk about it at that time. I may talk about it later on and say, Joke, the way you spoke to me the other time, I didn't like it. So what happened? Why did you do that? And all of that. And then she would explain and would just get over it. That's because I have become aware of her. It's not just about me now. It's not just about the things I want. Maybe at that moment, I actually even need her to do something for me. What would I do? She's not in a good frame of mind. I would leave it. I wouldn't enforce her. I wouldn't even force it on her. I'll look for other ways to get it done. Right? So it's important that we are aware of other people because sometimes, our colleagues may be having, a bad day. Maybe people, we don't live together, or maybe in trying to, on your way to work, the way, the commercial vehicle drivers can be. Maybe they bashed your car or somebody, threw something at your car or did one thing to you. And then you get to the office. I wouldn't expect such a person to get to the office excited, happy, jumping and all of that. No, because the person had a rough, morning, right? So as a person, so I don't no, BC is not always like this. She's a cheerful person. She's always cheerful all the time. So why are you keeping a moody face? Why are you keeping a sad? Hey God, my connection. God will help. So can we hear me? So right. So I know that this person. So I know that this person is, doesn't behave that way naturally, normally. What do I do? I just, I just allow the person to be. I allow the person to be because I am aware that she's not, always like this. But if you're not aware of others, as in study people, you would react. You can just react, negatively to the person, not knowing that the person is having a bad day. So it's important that we become aware of others. As much as we are aware of ourselves, we also need to be aware of others. And that's where the place, that's how empathy comes in. When you are aware of that person, when the person is having a bad day, or when the person is not a usual self or his usual self, you are, empathetic towards the person, and then you begin to ask, what happened? Are you fine? Are you okay? That way you are able to also help the person or relate well with the person, right? So the last one is relationship management. This is very, very important. And for us as lawyers, we relate with all manner of people. We have clients, we have colleagues, we have our principals, our managing partners. For those of us maybe in organizations, we have, the legal director or the company secretary. We have other, departments to relate with, people in other departments to relate with. So this, in fact, of all these pillars that we talked about, relationship management is the biggest, is the most important. We need to understand how we relate to people, master how you have to relate with people. And the only way you can do that is also being self-aware. Relationship with people is important. There's a favorite quote I usually like to say: I would rather lose the argument and preserve the relationship. I would rather lose the argument and preserve the relationship. And let me give you an example of this. When I was in the university, I had a very good friend. We're flatmates. We're not roommates, we're flatmates. So each person had, we had our self-contained apartment in a particular building. And we had issues about light or no light. And because I wasn't using any electrical appliance, she had a microwave, she had AC, she had TV, she had computer, she had a whole lot of things. I had just my laptop, my fan, and my light bulb. Those are the things I had. And then iron that I use occasionally. Okay, and then a standing fan. That was just all the things. Those are the things I had. But she had a standing fan, she had AC, she had microwave, she had TV, she had. Sorry, it's going off and on, but we'll survive. We'll survive it. We'll survive it. Don't worry, guys. We'll survive it. So she had all the electrical appliances, and we're having issues about payment of light and all of that. And we had heated arguments. We had and I was like, no, I won't allow. I won't do this. I won't do that. But I remembered this quote. Actually, it was actually a message that was preached by my pastor in church at the time. I remember that it's better you lose the argument and preserve the relationship. Ah.
Just like your icon. Okay, okay.
I'm
Not
sorry, the
better.
network is bad.
No, it's nothing to apologize for, to be honest. That's a Nigerian problem. We'll make do with what we have. It's fine. But I'm sure everybody can hear you now. If you can't hear, please indicate in the chat. Thank you, everyone, for your patience.
So
So, I had to just,
I remember that.
I remember that,
I remember that.
I remember that,
That statement.
that statement,
Do not
do not
lose the
lose the, don't,
sorry.
let me get my thoughts together.
You can lose the argument, but
It's me, because the relationship matters.
I said I would preserve
I said I would preserve the relationship
the relationship.
because the relationship matters to me. So,
what am I hearing
what
myself?
am I hearing myself?
Hello?
Hello? Yeah.
Hello?
Hello? Yes.
Can we hear me?
Can we hear me?
We will survive.
We will survive. We will survive this.
Hello?
Hello?
Can we hear me, please?
Can we hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
So I
I said I was going to preserve that relationship
and I would
lose the argument.
that happened
That happened
while
while I was in Pond when
and
we went on,
everyone
everyone
she finished before me.
she finished before me and
she left.
she left, but we're still friends.
2 or 3 years
2 or 3 years after, I was serving in Uyo
and I was
stranded.
This my particular
friend that we had
the argument. She had gone ahead.
She had gone on to marry that bomb guy.
And so when I was stranded,
I was actually sick and all of that. So and I didn't have enough cash on me. And then she just got talking one day and she called me. We got talking, and I was like, I'm not feeling too well, and I'm down. Really so difficult. Anyways, I'll just wrap up so that
We can hear you. Please continue from your phone. Yes, we can hear you. Please continue.
Okay. So long and short was that I couldn't take care of myself very well then. But this my friend's husband sent someone to me to give me money and to check on me. Imagine that I did not preserve that relationship, that I was fixated on winning the argument. I'm sure we will remain friends. And at that point in my life that I needed help, I wouldn't even have been able to call her, and I would not have received help from her. She came at the right time. And that call she made to me when I was sick was at the right time. Imagine that relationship was not preserved. I was fixated on winning the argument. What would have happened? So relationship management is very, very important. I can't overemphasize it. We need to understand and seek ways to preserve our relationship, to manage our relationship. If not, it will cost you your clients. It will cost you money. It will cost you briefs. It will cost you opportunities that you might not even be able to quantify it in terms of cash. So relationship management is very, very important. The last one I'm going to talk about is, why should you lead with emotional intelligence? We are all leaders, like I said from the beginning. It doesn't matter whether you're an employee or there's nobody you're leading. It's not until you are leading a battalion of people before you know that you're a leader. You are a leader in your own right.
And it's important that
we understand that
and begin to
lead
leadership with emotional
intelligence.
It's very, very important.
It's very, very important. We're all leaders, and we must begin to lead with emotional intelligence.
So I said, as a leader,
you are responsible for setting the tone in your organization. Your lack of emotional intelligence on your efficiency.
You would impact
on your employee or team productivity, and ultimately will also impact on the profitability of your firm. The profitability of your firm will be affected. You lead with emotional intelligence.
And it
has a far more reaching effect. Your lack of emotional intelligence has a far more reaching consequences that you can't even foresee.
So it's important that
we understand
what emotional intelligence
with a high level of emotional intelligence. It's very, very important. I can't overemphasize that. So I said technical skills is no longer enough. Technical skills is no longer enough.
Sorry, just hold on. I'm trying to admit people. Right. So I've admitted them. So people can even forgive
your lack of technical skills.
Nobody will forgive
your lack of soft skills.
Nobody will forgive. So mastery of emotional intelligence aid the advancement of the organization. Give you put in a positive light. It will project you as a true professional. And it will make people gravitate towards you. So these are the reasons you need to lead with emotional intelligence, particularly in this A and for us as lawyers. In level of emotional intelligence and it has to stop notch. Right. So that's it from Thank you so much for staying with me regardless of all the back and forth. So I'm going to hand over to Fola Alade. Continue. I've introduced him. He would introduce himself. So let me Hi Fola,
Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. One second, please. All right. So can you also see the screen too? Can you see
Yes,
my
we can.
screen?
You can see the screen.
Can you see the screen? Hello, everyone. Yeah, can you see what's displayed on the screen? Let's start with that first.
We can see it.
Okay,
We can see it. Emotional intelligence
Yeah.
for attorney-client relationship.
Okay, I can see Jessica shaking her head. I can see Naomi. I can see Busola. Okay, so let's get right to it. Because of the epileptic network, I would really appreciate if every once in a while you can just I can see Joker online now, and I can see Jessica. So I'll probably be looking at those two faces. If there is a glitch or something, kindly let me know. Yeah, thank you. So my name is Fola Alade, and I will be speaking on emotional intelligence for attorney-client relationship. So before we get into this, let me just give you a brief insight into who I am. Yeah, I'm a legal practitioner. I'm a notary public. I'm a mediator on the board, on the panel of neutrals for the Lagos Multi-Door Courthouse, Lagos Court of Arbitration, the Lagos Chamber of Commerce, and the Federal High Court. And I'm also a mediation advocate, a negotiator, and a facilitator / trainer with the Attorney Mediators Association, the Standing Conference of Mediation Advocates, Better Worker, Occurrent, and Resource HQ. So now that I've gotten that out of the way, let me just give a brief insight into how I accidentally stumbled upon emotional intelligence. It was supposed to be more of a personal thing. For those that know me very well, I have a bit of an emotion. I have a bit of a temper problem. So I went into emotional intelligence basically to curb my temper, so to say. And in learning about emotional intelligence, I was able to use it in other ways. And one of them is my career path, vis-a-vis becoming an emotional intelligence certified specialist, a mediator, and a mediation advocate. As we get into the discourse for today, I will shed more light on it. I actually have just 30 minutes to speak. I'll try and see how much I can take within 30 minutes. I'm just going to dive right into it. Now, the topic for today really is emotional intelligence for attorney-client relationship. And most times when I train, I have a slightly different approach to some certain issues. I like to go back to the source. And what is the source? I'm talking about the etymology. For the sake of time, I will be speaking to my papers, so I probably wouldn't be reading what you have on the screen. So let's take the three unique words that come out of the topic for today. The first is emotional intelligence. The second is attorney, and the third is client. Now, emotional intelligence really is a fusion of how you think, how you feel, and invariably how you act. So the way you think most times determines how you feel. How you feel determines how you act. Now, who is an attorney? Now, in some climes, we call them lawyers. In other climes, they use solicitors. But of course, there are different definitions that go with who each and every one of these is. But really and truly, an attorney is a person who is typically a lawyer appointed to act for another in business or legal matters. And a client is a person or organization who uses the services of a lawyer for professional or other professional person or company. At this point, I should also state a clear distinction between a client and a customer. Most times when it has to do with being a customer really has to do with people who they buy services from. But with regards to, I'm sorry, let me just look at the questions for a minute. With regards to who a client is, basically a client has to do with somebody whose services, who engages your services for professional needs. Now, when we talk about emotional intelligence vis-a-vis lawyers, the underlying thing that goes through it is empathy. Now, when we talk about empathy, what do we mean by empathy? Empathy really has to do with the ability of a lawyer to understand the feelings of others. Whereas sympathy has to do with when you more or less descend into the arena. Now, for where empathy is concerned, you more or less try to put yourself in the shoes of the client. You don't necessarily, it's not like a pity party kind of thing. You just, you try to put yourself in the shoes of the client to understand how the client feels like, which is one of the reasons why, as a lawyer, I can't begin to overemphasize the importance of emotional intelligence in anything and everything you do. Emotional intelligence will distinguish you from a lot of lawyers and how they do their things. Now, in talking about empathy again, I'm also going to use a scenario that comes clearly to mind. Let's assume a client comes to your office and he's seated and he or she is saying, okay, fine, I went to, sorry, can you still hear me, Joke? Can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you.
Yeah. Oh, great stuff, yeah. Now, for every lawyer, I'm not just going to come up with a standard scenario that comes into play. Let's assume, okay, fine, I'll use Naomi as an example. Naomi comes to my law firm and she's very, very, very upset about a transaction she had with someone that went bad. And for the first 15 minutes, Naomi is explaining to me that she met SLB, she and SLB decided to go into a contract, blah, 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 blah. As a lawyer, it's very funny how the mind of a lawyer works. The moment you mention that, the first thing that comes to a lawyer's mind is, okay, there was a contract. But whereas she's just going, Joke is just going on, explaining to me how disappointed she is in what LCB has done. But in a lawyer's mind, he's trying to establish three things. Number one, was there a contract? Two, is there a breach of contract? Three, if there is a breach of contract, what are the remedies involved? But this is where emotional intelligence comes into play. You'll be very surprised that as a lawyer, probably from your first 5 minutes of explaining to him, he has already gotten the drift of what he wants to say. But he does not immediately descend into the arena. He waits. This is where emotional intelligence comes into play. Because you are you being a client, you can speak for like maybe 1 or 2 hours explaining and all that. A lawyer that has emotional intelligence understands the need for you to ventilate. So he or she would allow you to speak your mind, and in speaking your mind would ask you 1 or 2 or 3 questions. But right from the very moment of speaking, the lawyer has already established what action he or she would take. It's not too different from a doctor seated in front of a patient. At the time the patient is saying, I have a headache, I have this, I have that, I don't feel so well, the doctor in his mind already knows, okay, fine, these are likely symptoms of malaria or typhoid. But the doctor would not shut you up. The doctor would allow you to speak your mind. Because one thing about speaking is that, aside from ventilating how you feel, it makes you feel better. Now, this is where emotional intelligence comes into play. Now, if I'm not going to go back to the distinction between empathy and sympathy, when you're empathetic towards the scenario I've just explained, you would, okay, ask your client, okay, fine, okay, this is what happened, how do you feel? But you don't go like, okay, why would this person do so and so and so? If I was this, I would have done that. No, you wouldn't do that. Which is why empathy is really, really very important in the scheme of things. As I proceed further, I will shed more light on this. Now, when you call yourself an emotionally intelligent attorney, there are some certain qualities that distinguish you from a lawyer that does not have emotional intelligence. Number one, like I explained, is being empathetic without being sympathetic. It's extremely important because you don't want to speak to a client and the client starts getting the vibe that you pity him or her. It sends a negative vibe. Then the second basic quality every lawyer that is emotional intelligent should have are the basic listening skills. Basic listening skills. Now, it's very, very important that a lot of things you say when you're not saying are probably unsaid. Right from the way you sit down, when a client is speaking to you, the posturing you adopt, the mannerisms you adopt, these things are very, very important when speaking to a client. Then open-ended questions. When a client is explaining something to you, as a lawyer, when you start off, you could always start off with open-ended questions. Could you please tell me X, Y, Z? In asking these kind of questions, the client will go to town, explaining a lot. When you now get to that point where you feel you've not been able to hit that mark, you know, move over to the second line of basic listening skills, which is called close questioning. Essentially, when you make use of close questioning, you are asking definite questions that will make you hit the mark on the head. Then you also have paraphrasing. When the client says something, you try to bring it down to, okay, fine, by this sounds like this. Then reflection of feelings. There are times when the client is speaking, you try to mirror how the client feels. Maybe the client sits back, you sit back. If the client does this, I beg your pardon, you do this. Then, and last but not the least, once the client has explained everything to you, you try to give a brief summary to make the client understand that you understand where he or she is coming from. And another basic quality every lawyer that is emotionally to have is to not be judgmental. Because as we must have all noticed, most times, and I say this as an aside, whichever position you occupy determines your state of mind at that particular point in time. So let's assume a client walks up to you, tells you he did this, he did that, and all that, which morally might not seem right. It is not your place to be quiet and it's not your place to come off with, I'm sorry, can you still hear me? Joke, I'm still looking at you.
We can hear you.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, maybe a client comes up and tells you something that morally goes against your sense of belief and all that. It is, it is not your place. I'm so sorry. Can you still see the screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Again, some things are just coming up. I'm just gonna have to speak.
You are fine. You are fine. The screen is okay.
Yeah, but I no longer see it from my own screen. So let me just look at the second one. 1 second, please. Yeah. I think I'm on slide. Yeah, I'm on the qualities of an emotionally intelligent attitude. And I was talking about non-judgmental attitude. Now, apart from when you are non-judgmental, you should be able to distinguish between facts and reality. Now, I'm losing my flow of thought on this because of the distraction I'm having here. So I'll just move over to the second thing. Now, the next point we're going to be talking about is authenticity. Now, I keep saying this, you cannot rehearse originality. As an emotionally intelligent lawyer, you should be known for something. Now, I notice a lot of times, I don't know whether it's the economic situation or just lack of confidence where the business and practice of law is concerned. You find some lawyers not being authentic in their practice, not being authentic in the sense that you know for sure that, okay, fine, this thing, how do I put it this way? Let me backtrack a little bit. Still on the principle of authenticity, but I'll take it from another dimension. Now, as an emotionally intelligent lawyer, when you're authentic, it means that you know what you stand for. When you're authentic, it means you know your area of strength and you know your area of weaknesses. Now, I'm also going to juxtapose this position with the principle of specialization. Now, a lot of lawyers struggle with areas of specialization that they're not very, very good at. Now, it will interest you to know that there are very few things I know, but the few things I know them very, 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 very well. The things I don't know, I don't know. One thing I know very well is I know emotional intelligence, I know mediation. But other areas of law that I'm not so good at, if I don't assign them out, I don't even go near them at all. So most times, when I speak from a position of authority, it looks as if, oh, Fola is very, very good at this. But it's not necessarily so. I've just been able to identify my area of strength. And in identifying my area of strength, I've harnessed it and I've worked on it. And in also working on it, I've been able to carve a niche for myself, which is where the principle of originality comes into play. Now, it's also interesting to know that we're all talking about emotional intelligence. We're all taking it from different angles, which is also where the principle of being authentic comes into play. Then again, one other principle of one quality of an emotionally intelligent attorney is that you need to understand what your client wants. A lot of times, clients want results. Efforts don't count. Efforts don't count. And in efforts not counting, you find most lawyers trying to explain this, explain that, do this, do that. To the average client, he doesn't really, he or she is not concerned about that. What he or she is concerned about is, I have a problem and I've come to meet you. How can you solve my problem? That's essentially what the client wants. That's all that's going through the client's mind. How do you solve my problem? Now, another point I'm going to talk about, which is also very, very, very important, is the principle of developing self-awareness. Look, if you don't understand yourself, you can never understand others. Let's be honest. Now, I'm also going to use myself as an example. As much as I talk about mediation and business and whatnot, I understand myself. I like commercial. I like anything commercial. But even within the arena of mediation that I do so well, I shy away from family, probate, and whatnot, because the way my mind is, well, very few of us have that kind of specialty where they give you where a problem, where you have a problem and you're able to compartmentalize problems. Okay, and you break them into bits and pieces. I've been able to discover that's one of my unique talents. No matter how complex the case is, I'm able to break them down into boxes and take each box and work on each box and move to another box. Now, I find that I do that excellently well where commercial activities are concerned. Now, if I now decide to reverse engineer this to probably probate, family, divorce, and all that, I find that I don't do a very, very good job at it. So, because I understand myself very, very, very well, I'm always extremely wary of the kind of cases I take. And another thing I also have to talk about, and now in talking about this, I'm going to combine authenticity with self-awareness, and this has to do with lawyers generally. Now, when a client, when a patient goes to the hospital, a patient does not go and see a doctor and tell the doctor that, doctor, I have a headache, I have tummy upset, I have been eating for 3 or 4 days, I think I have malaria. Can you recommend XYZ to me? You don't go and see a doctor and tell your doctor that. So why then should a client come to your office, your firm, and tell you how to run your practice? Why should a client tell you that? But if we find a lot of lawyers going down that lane, they come to meet you with a case that you know can be resolved through maybe extra-legal, maybe through mediation or other means of dispute resolution. Or somehow, some way, because of the funds involved and all that, you allow your client to determine what you want to do. An emotionally intelligent lawyer will not accept that. Now, another thing I also do again, another thing about being emotionally intelligent is this: because you have an understanding of yourself, you define yourself. It would interest you to know that I don't do business cards. And I learned this from Olakunle Shoyo, that's one of my mentors, about business cards. You see, when people give, if I give you a business card, 2 things are involved. Is either you forget that business card somewhere, or if you don't forget that business card anywhere, you copy that number into your phone and you discard the business card. So if I want to establish a relationship with you, once I meet you, I give you my number. Or if I take your number. In doing that, we're saving the environment. Now, the only reason why I can do all of this is I understand myself. Apart from understanding myself, I am self-aware. Now, I'm going to backtrack again and take the next topic again, but not backtrack, taking a step forward. How can emotional intelligence, how can it help attorneys? Number one, can you see the next screen?
Yes.
Yeah. So what slide is showing now?
Qualities of an emotional intelligence.
That's continued, right?
Yes.
Okay, now, okay. I've spoken to this screen. So I'm on the next screen about how emotional intelligence can help attorneys. Can you see that? Can you see that?
Yes.
How intelligence help attorneys? Can you see that? Can you now?
No, it's not moving. The 2 qualities of an emotional intelligent attorney.
Oh, but
It's stuck at slide 5. Right, slide 5.
Slide 5. I'm so sorry. Okay. SLB will share the slide with you. Or it's actually the next slide. Now, what I have here is how can emotional intelligence help attorneys? Now, there are so many ways emotional intelligence can help lawyers. Number one is greater sales and revenue. In having greater sales and revenue, once you are emotionally intelligent, you have ways of passing information across. You have ways of, for want of a better word to use, marketing your brand and selling yourself. Now, apart from also that again, once you are emotionally intelligent, you're very good at time management. Time management still boils down to number one, being able to understand your strengths and your weaknesses. So the areas of law or areas of practice you know you're very, very good at, you work on it. The ones you know you're not so good at, you delegate them out. You have strong team management skills. You have the ability to stay motivated. You are able to enhance stress management, less burnout, and most importantly, you have what's it called, hiring skills at knowing who works better for you. Now, I'm also on a very final note. I'm going to be talking about how we as lawyers, what are we doing? How are we as using emotional intelligence in dealing with our clients during this COVID pandemic that is going on right now? Now, clients have this, I don't know why to call it a misconceived notion that when it comes to lawyers, it's all about money. And we lawyers have this funny notion that where clients are concerned, it has to do with the fact that they're users. So it's a funny standpoint. Lawyers think clients are users. When lawyers are concerned, it's all about the money. So how do you marry this? How do you marry this? Nothing stops us as lawyers sending emails to our clients, checking, asking after their well-being, sending them updates to know whether they are all staying safe and all that. These are signs of emotionally intelligent acts. And one thing we should also try and understand is where emotional intelligence is concerned is this. A lot of times, it is never what you say that matters. It is what you don't say. Another thing we also need to understand is that most of us are lawyers by training. Nobody was born a lawyer. So sometimes when we try to discharge our duties, let's also remember that we're human beings. A lot of times, I've seen lawyers that are so, what kind of English can I use? They are so, SLB, don't be annoyed, they are so stuck up in their attitude when dealing with clients, the way they address clients, the way they speak. Wow.
Looking for their way.
Yeah, you can say that again. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop right here because I flow more when questions are asked. But I believe with these few minutes of speaking to you, I've been able to touch on the essential features of emotional intelligence where attorney-client relationship is concerned. And I hope when we now decide questions, I'll be able to address whatever issues I was not able to cover. Now, the slides have been given to SLB. I'm sure after this presentation, she'll make it available to everyone. Thank you. I'm done. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you. You people did not clap for me doing my own, though.
My village people are really going after me now, SLB. I can't see what I'm saying. I'm just speaking extempore. I don't know what's coming. Yeah.
The network is quite bad.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Fola, for that beautiful presentation. I'm sure there's so much I know there's so much you want to say. When we had our meeting this morning, we saw the whole thing. So I know there's our friend. And thank you so much. And I know we have you on standby to take more questions and explain better. So right now we'll go to Adejoke Ogunlewe. So Joke, you have the floor.
Okay, hello everybody. Mr. Fola, can you stop sharing your screen? Because I can't share until you stop. It's saying I can't share while the other participants are sharing. I don't know if there's anything Busola can do to help as the admin. Or maybe you stop your video Okay, let me see the work now. Okay, okay. So,
Share yours now. I think you can share yours.
okay, okay, no problem. So, can everybody see my screen now?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Let me know if you're seeing what I'm sharing, please.
We can see it.
Okay, good. All right. So, it's been a very insightful afternoon, and I've been taking notes as well. Busola did a very fantastic introduction for me. I wish I could introduce myself that way. My name is Adejoke Ogunlewe. I'm a lawyer like every other person here, but more than being a lawyer, I'm into personal development, business development, and strategy. It's something I realized that I did for a long time without getting without putting a structure or getting paid for it. And then I realized that I could help a lot of people. I'm going to set a timer on my phone so that I'm within time. That's part of the discipline that we're trying to talk about. And then I realized that I could help people with design thinking, help businesses and help organizations taking the idea from maybe point A or B to point D, E, F, and then all the way to Z. So that was how I got into the space of personal development, strategy, business consulting, and being the startup cheerleader, and also the Future Map Advantage, which is something that I've designed to help people think about the future, in making decisions using the skills on adaptability, design thinking, proactivity to be able to make decisions for their business and the future of their business generally. So I'll be talking about using emotional intelligence to thrive in crisis and difficult negotiations. I mean, what a time to be sharing on this. It's been very difficult for a lot of people. And if the news and the data is something to go by, there are going to be winners and losers, and it's going to be probably maybe worse than the recession that happened in maybe 2008. I mean, predictions are already even saying that this is going to be as bad as the Great Recession. But guess what? There are going to be winners as well, and those winners are people who can leverage on skills like emotional intelligence, adaptability, design thinking, cross-cultural competence, and so many other skills of the future and the future of workplace. A lot of organizations are going to find out that they can actually do more with very little manpower. They're going to let people go. As lawyers, one of the things that's foreseen for us is that in the next few months, we're going to be renegotiating contracts for people. We're going to be reviewing contracts. Mr. Fola, if you can hear me, shake your head. If you can hear me, can you please?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. We're going to be reviewing contracts. People are going to be pleading force majeure. They can't meet deliverables. They can't meet timelines. Investors are going to be worried about what is going to happen to their money. Startup founders and people who are holding those money are panicking because they probably cannot meet up on so many things. I'm already doing those things. But guess what? In the middle of this, some investors are still putting money into viable businesses. I'm still paying people cutting checks. I'm working with some people who were already in the middle of negotiation and fundraising, and the investors decided to go ahead. And that was, it gave me hope that, you know what, this is not all doom and gloom. And that's what I'm saying, everybody. That, you know what, this is the best time to start strategizing. Be there for all of us who are here, both the ones who are really advanced among us. I'm seeing a lot, some seniors here, and the people who are maybe up and coming like myself. It's a good thing that you're paying attention to this. The best time to plan for the future was yesterday. The next best time is now. So I'll be talking about using emotional intelligence to thrive in crisis and in difficult situations. So quick about me. I'm a partner in Ogunlewe and Ogunlewe. It's a legacy family law firm. My husband and I inherited from his father. And then I'm also the founder and lead consultant at Nigeria Consulting. That's where I do the future mapping, backcasting, consulting, and training. I'm a business strategist and I'm a startup consultant. I am very interested in data, in numbers, and how to use data to be able to get results. I'm a trainer, I'm a conference speaker, I have a few under my belt, and I would like you to connect with me on LinkedIn. I share quite a lot about the work I'm doing on LinkedIn, and then a bit on my Instagram, and then of course on Twitter, which I'm also very active. I'm active into policy making too as well. I believe that that's the way you can drive change. So a lot has been said on the first two, all the competencies of emotional intelligence, which is the self-awareness, self-management, awareness of others, social awareness, and relationship management. So I'm going to dwell more on the last two, because when there's crisis, the first one, personal crisis, You are mostly managing other people when there's a crisis. And for us lawyers here, you're either managing investors, you're advising the people who invested their money, people who they are owing, people who are owing some people, maybe negotiating the terms and moratorium and all those other things. And so I'm sure that as I use those languages, you're familiar with things like moratorium, investment, money, startup, and all those other things. You must be familiar with those things because that is where we work. If you're not working in those places, I'm sure that's where you want to work. So I won't dwell too much on the self-management and self-awareness. There's a lot has been said about that. I won't dwell that too much. I'll just keep this. So if you see them on the slide, you can take a screenshot, and I'm happy to share my slides with Mr. Busola to share with every one of us. So BA will share with us. Acquiring emotional intelligence sounds selfish into selfless. That's one key point I'd like us to learn. So let me do touch on. Can everybody see my face? Please just nod if you can see what I'm doing. On the quick science of emotional intelligence, because it sounds very abstract. Emotional intelligence, is this just a new fact? It's one of the top 10 skills. In fact, if you check the skills that's released by LinkedIn Learning, it is number 4 or number 5. Adaptability comes before. It's something I'm also very well read and vast in training. So this is the science of emotional intelligence. Yeah, the brain, this is the brain. There's somewhere called the prefrontal cortex, where the logical brain is. And then somewhere in the middle, you have the amygdala. The amygdala is the place that stores information when information goes to it from the thalamus, somewhere also in the brain. Let me just, a bit of science. So the space between the amygdala and the thalamus is short. And the space between the thalamus and the prefrontal cortex, which is the logical brain, is short. The amygdala is the emotional brain. It stores your responses. So let's say, for example, you see a snake. And your first response when you saw a snake is panic. Your amygdala will store it. Next time you see a snake, the response will be almost as same as the first response. Because before the information gets to the first, to the logical part, you've already taken action. The only time the amygdala responds in a very affirmative, positive way, which is just the autopilot way, it is when it's about your offspring or your procreation. I don't know how God did it that way. So that's why you hear things like a woman runs in front of a moving car to save her child that mistakenly called her. Somebody jumps in front of a moving train to save their child. So what emotional intelligence does when you acquire it over a period of time is to help you, train you, so that your responses can come from the logical brain. When you are using numbers, data, when I say data, don't disabuse your mind from maybe just numbers and stuff on what. Data is what someone is wearing, my body language, the way I'm nodding my head, the way I'm shaking my head, those are data. So when somebody is talking with their mouth, I'm taking all kinds of data from what you're saying. So I'm able to properly identify and analyze that data and make the best decisions for me and that person. So I arrive at a win-win situation. I always believe a win-win situation is possible no matter what. So the goal of emotional intelligence is to turn you from a selfish person, because the amygdala is designed to make you selfish, to make you go into self-preservation mode, make you think of how does this affect me? What does this do for me? And in our instances as lawyers, that when you are on the side of the client, like most times when myself and the DA we exchange contracts, and she's asking me, who are you representing? Is the amygdala that is talking, so that she will know whether to advise me that this person you're representing, we are not putting enough tight measures in the contract to defend the person. And I tell her that we've had this conversation back and forth. The goal is to make money for everybody. We can actually do better. So the goal of emotional intelligence is to turn you from a selfish person into a selfless person. And don't think that it means that you're going to be taking shit, because a lot of people, when they hear it, it sounds to them like you're telling them, oh, you want me to be taking rubbish or be lying down over for people to walk over me. No. You will be assertive instead of being aggressive. That is the goal of emotional intelligence. So even in your contract, in your negotiations, in your advice to your clients, in your court work, in so many aspects of a lawyer that you function in, the goal is for you to be assertive, affirmative, to be able to take a stand that is ecological. So I put a bit of a definition of emotional intelligence here. I will just keep it. I'll share because a lot has been said about it. So the last one says emotional intelligence refers to the informed use of emotions and feelings. So I put on thriving on emotional intelligence here. So an emotional intelligent lawyer and leader will handle crises, big or small, better than someone without EI competence. The 4 domains of emotional intelligence are self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management. I will draw on the relationship management part of emotional intelligence. So I put a scenario here. Can we quickly read the scenario and you can drop the answers in the comment chat while I continue to talk about it. You can multitask in reading or you can compartmentalize. So
You have shortened your screen. Oh.
Please.
Okay, let me make it bigger. I apologize. How about now? Is it bigger now? Is it bigger now?
It's too big.
Too big, okay. How about now?
It's fine, but just tilt it so that we
How
can
about
see the
now?
word.
Is it fine now?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. So crisis can emerge in many forms. And most times when it emerges, and I'm looking at it from the organizational context now, not personal crisis, but you find that even in organizations, in countries, wherever there is crisis, at the very core of it are human beings. Human beings are the drivers. They are the ones who either cause the crisis or who are trying to mitigate the effect of that crisis.
You are teaching me. Do you understand?
I can hear someone.
Don't worry, I'll take care of it.
Okay. So crisis can emerge in many different forms, and they often strike without warning. I mean, when a lot of us, a lot of organizations, when a lot of us, even as individuals, we were planning our goals for last year, I'm sure we had big plans for the month of February and the month of March and April. But look at what has happened to all of us. There's a pandemic that takes us to stay indoors. Who would have thought that in 2020 they will be teaching people on how to wash hands? When we're already talking about driverless cars, we're talking about artificial intelligence and drone technology. But guess what? Everybody's talking about wash your hands, stay safe and all that. I mean, those are the kinds of things crisis can do. It can just change everything and change the face of everything. But what most plans omit when there's a crisis are crucial factors: effective crisis management and emotional intelligence. They omit it. So an emotional intelligence leader will handle any crisis, big or small, better than someone without the four competencies. And I'll dwell on the last part of the competence because a lot has been said about the first three, especially the first two. And like BA said, you won't leave this video and become emotional intelligence. Knowledge is not even power. Knowledge is potential power. It is the application of it that makes the difference between what you heard and what you're going to do. So when there are first crises like this and we are in the middle of it, the first thing I encourage you to do, which is under the purview of emotional intelligence, is to name your emotions. Perhaps somebody didn't put a department that was supposed to do a disaster management, or your insurance is failing at this point. As a lawyer to a company with insurance is failing, or as even the lawyer to the insurance company that is not going to be offering coverage to their clients at this point, you will be very upset as an individual because a lot is going to rest on your shoulders. We are most of us operating capacity, advisory capacity to decision makers. So we have a lot of influence. We are able to influence them, guide them in the right way. And like Mr. Fola said, that when some client comes to you, maybe it's an organization or an individual, a business, I mean, they have an idea of what they want. But you will know best practice. You will know the best route because you have more experience in handling things like that. So the first thing is name what you're feeling. It's okay. And that is where self-awareness comes in. When crisis happens, you are in the middle of it as a lawyer, as an individual, as a leader, as a manager of people. Name that feeling. It helps you to understand it and probably share with other people, and then they can tell you, you know what, this is what I'm feeling. I've encouraged a lot of my friends and colleagues, come, let's talk about what's going on now. What's this doing to your business? How is this making you feel? This pandemic was unexpected. Even countries didn't plan for it. Nobody saw this coming. Nobody expected this kind of lockdown, not just in this country, but across the world. And it is a matter of life and death. So how is this making you feel? Are you afraid? And I'm very yes, I'm afraid. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of so many things. I mean, but what the next thing I now tell them to do, you know, focus on what you can control. What can you control? When there is much that is beyond your control, there's a great deal that you can do to alleviate unnecessary risk. So we can take back some level of control by focusing on what we can control. You can control how you feel. You can control how you respond. You can control the things around work that you can work on. You can put together a statement or you can outsource that. But you can't control, I mean, I can't control when they're going to open the airspace in Nigeria. It doesn't make sense. But what I can control is I can book my tickets in advance and keep changing my ticket. I can't control when certain conferences will hold, but I can control me monitoring the date. So I identify what I can quickly control. And when I'm in the middle of a crisis where it maybe borders on negotiation as an attorney, first thing I tell myself is that this person is not just how I'm saying the person. I take in the data of their past. I take in the data of their perception about life, the data of how they are bringing, the data of their mindset. As much as I can, when people talk, you can hear where they are coming from. You can hear the things that is very important to them. I take into account their values about life, because you find that when conflict happens, it is mostly because there's a breakdown in communication, or because somebody feels that the value are being threatened, or somebody feels that the personal interest is being threatened. So many times as a lawyer, and if you agree with me, for those that I can see their face, you can nod your head. You are dealing with not just the person, you are dealing with the person's ego, you are dealing with the person's greed, you are dealing with so many factors. So when I'm dealing with a difficult client or negotiation, I'm quick to realize that it's because I'm dealing with egos, greed, insecurity, uncertainty, and that there are many other factors at play. So the first thing I do is I separate the individual or the organization from their behavior and seek out to achieve a win-win situation for both parties. This helps us to be logical and make the very best decision when we engage the logical brain instead of the emotional brain. Don't forget the conversation about the prefrontal cortex being where the logical brain is, and then the middle of the brain where somewhere is the amygdala, where you can have an amygdala hijack. So the emotional brain is known to be irrational and inaccurate in most times. So when crisis strikes, it is essential to manage many relationships amongst people. So when there's a crisis, is not when you want to ice somebody out. You want to make sure you're carrying everybody along. Like Mr. Fola said, now how many of us are taking time to send messages to, not even if not all of our clients, the top 10 clients you have, the top 10 clients. I've made sure that in all of these crises, I've been in constant communication with my clients across different time zones. Like, okay, what's this doing to our plan? Because at the beginning of the year, a lot of them shared plans with me. I mean, somebody had to put a stop to purchasing the 100 million property. The only successful one so far has been the one who the investors are still going ahead to put money. And I'm talking serious money in billions. I was shocked because I thought that they were going to stop me. But I've had other people who are saying, you know what, I won't be able to make a decision now. I have to stop. The property I plan to sell, I can't sell it anymore. This is not someone even in Nigeria. Because this is happening now, I need to hold on to my cash first before I lose it. Some people were about to make investments that I was already preparing contracts for. So this is not the time you want to ice people out. You want to make sure that the flow of communication is constant, is open, and then you are deploying a lot of empathy. When there's a crisis, there's something that Daniel Goleman calls friendliness with the purpose. And as an individual, another thing I've mentioned in emotional intelligence is that it has helped me deploy personalization and specialization, two skills very well in handling clients. It may look like I end up being close friends to all of my top clients, but that is the way I'm able to move forward, because I understand the specificity of each of their needs as an individual and in the organization they are working with. I understand their vision, their dreams, and their goals. And now that there is a crisis, I'm seeing where they are affected. It is because I have decided to be, I'm not just operating as a lawyer now. I am thinking numbers. I am putting on my business cap, my thinking cap. Before now, you only saw it black and white. No, you have to pay me. I've joined that contract. So whether they go ahead with it or not. So, and like Busola was telling us initially, we lose the friendship, we lose the relationship, we storm out of the meeting, we tell them that they should go to hell, we call their bluff. I learned to manage people and manage their egos and managing their greed, and I deploy my logical brain because my amygdala would not do that. I'm going to call their bluff and tell them to go to hell. But because I understand that people are not what they see, and I know now that emotions drive people, people drive performance, I am more careful, more successful, more profitable in handling my clients, handling the organizations I'm working for. You see some organizations, there are maybe two founders. One doesn't like me, the other person that brought me likes me. You see that one who doesn't like me, I try carrying him along. I won't say because he doesn't like me and doesn't have powers to remove me. I'm carrying on a board of directors. They are mostly male. Emotional intelligence is you understanding the person you want to meet with before you go there to avert crisis and to hate your negotiations. I'll tell you an example. I have this friend that also runs a law firm, and then he was going to meet with a lady who has it openly in her bio that she's a feminist. Like, she doesn't talk about that feminism. She's very big on it. And the guy was going to go with another guy. And he reached out to me and said, I need your help. I'm going to meet with a woman who is a feminist. Instead of cutting me out or being afraid that I'm going to take his work. He took me along and we collaborated and we got the brief. And it was quite good and it was quite juicy. And then the guy came back to me and told me something. He said the reason why he went ahead to call me was because he heard me talking one day and I said, collaboration over competition any day, anytime. Where did I learn it from? When I began to learn the concepts and the principles of emotional intelligence, I realized that so many people I was at loggerheads with, I was supposed to be learning from them, and I made them my competition, and I made them my enemy. I couldn't have done that without engaging my logical brain. And you see, the more you put your logical brain to work, the more you allow your responses to be more logical, the more you subdue the emotional part of your brain, which can be inaccurate, irrational, and make decisions that will not favor you, which is on autopilot. You know, it has false response. Maybe you had a client once. I once had a client, my first contract out of law school. I prepared a contract for someone who was going to be managing ice cream. He got the brief and the guy refused to pay me. And I felt so pain. When I knew he made money, he wasn't just managing his music portfolio, he was managing his total portfolio. Because I was young, he didn't pay me. So for a long time, whenever I wanted to do anything for anybody, I always insisted on a 70% down payment, no matter who you were. And I realized that, I mean, it turned some people off. And then I had to learn how to, you know, relax some of my rules in some places, because I learned something valuable when I started practicing emotional intelligence. Emotions drive people and people drive performance. And when you now add that to specialization and personalization, it makes negotiation easier, because no matter how difficult those people are, they have a price. You are able to nurture something. You are able to cross a bridge. You are able to mend a gap. I have about 10 minutes more. So like I was saying here, when crisis strikes, it is essential to manage relationships amongst many people, many stakeholders, the board of directors, between two founders who want to break up the startup and scatter everything, something you've probably been working for a long time because they said they are, or maybe shareholders that they don't want to be part of the company anymore, and you know that they're supposed to be there. The ability to, friendliness with the purpose is the ability to inspiring others, managing conflict, fostering teamwork, and other competencies. So moving people in the direction you desire. Emotional intelligence is so tricky in the sense that you are in control. You can deploy it in a devilish manner if you want to do that. So I'm able to get people to do the things I want to do in crisis situation, in negotiation situation, by deploying it. And this is by simply understanding them, by putting empathy, by specialization, and by personalization of my services. So that is the way a lawyer can use emotional intelligence in this period of crisis. Do an overview of your client's industry, the industry your client operates. What is going to be changing? Like, you can just do a one-pager for them. These are things that blow people's mind, and we are sharing this traits secret with you from one person to the other, because Mr. Fola shared some of his. Let me share mine too. Go beyond asking them how are they faring, how are they doing. Do a simple one-pager. You understand the industry of your client. For example, I have some clients who probably real estate. What is this going to do to real estate? What is this going to do to buying of houses, building of houses, and selling of houses within the next 12 to 18 months? How can they mitigate the effects? Are they going to be looking for extension of moratorium to people they borrowed money from, or from their investors? Are they going to be cutting short some contracts, or they're going to be pulling out of some? Just do an overview for them. I've done for one or two people. I'm even having a challenge to bring people across, bringing people together from across different industries. We're going to look at diagnosis of what this pandemic is doing to their industry and how we can navigate it, diversify, innovate, because innovation is very, very important. Now, each of these competencies we talked about require self-awareness and self-control and social awareness. Developing the competencies takes time and effort, but you'll be rewarded for your work. You may not be able to undo the crisis at this moment, but you will learn but emotional intelligence will help you learn, make the process of getting through the next crisis or even this current crisis better. I'm moving to the next slide now. I'm almost done. Now, the basic science of emotional intelligence, as I explained earlier, is making better decisions when we rely on the logical brain, which is in the prefrontal lobe or the cortex, than on the emotional brain, which is the amygdala, when making decisions. A lawyer who will win a crisis and difficult negotiations is one who would deploy a great deal of social awareness and empathy. This is more helpful than being set in their ways. A lot of us are set in our ways because of our training. I do not fault anything. Our training, take that with our background, take that with the things we've been told about being invisible, and sometimes we are playing God complex because we are lawyers. It doesn't help us to deploy empathy. It doesn't help us to put on our business path. We've been trained to think only in contracts, in moratorium, in breaches of contracts. What are the remedies to these breaches? But when you begin to think business, you are looking beyond what this thing is saying. Because you are looking at the figures. Who's going to lose and what does this do for you? Now, I was negotiating, I was in the middle of a negotiation and I was the call lawyer preparing the contract, the one I was talking about that the investors can pull out. And there was someone in the middle of it who introduced the investor to the startup that I represent. And the person was insisting that he was going to be getting a percentage for 3 years. And then my client was really like, no, people are so greedy. I said, you know what? Are you willing for this person to take away over $1 billion? And this is just the first part of it, because you don't want to part with 20,000 per truck, over 50 trucks, which is about maybe 2 million per month for 3 years. Do the math now. What are you losing? What are you to lose? And by the time we crunched the numbers and we did the math, he said, you know what can I do? I said, I would advise that give him half of the money he's requesting and use the other to give him stock. Let him be part of your, give him equity. He had never thought about it that way. You know, you see, this life, think about win-win situation. If it was me about 4 years or 3 years ago, I wouldn't have thought that way, because I'll be thinking, why are you being greedy? Why are you asking for something that you're not going to be working for? Forgetting the fact that this is the person who is brokering the negotiation. And that's how business is. People want to win. I mean, it's not Father Christmas. So by bringing him to the table, bringing him on our side, making him part of the shareholders, the equity holder, the man himself started seeing the potential. And then he was more into, okay, how can I make sure that this transaction doesn't break down? Unlike before that, he was willing to make everything break down because he wasn't going to get what he wanted. I was able to deploy emotional intelligence through advising my clients to get him to see the bigger picture instead of being myopic and what he was thinking about before. So these are some of the ways we can use emotional intelligence in negotiation period, in crisis period, to get the very best responses. Now, so we're getting to the end. In summary, researchers have found that emotionally intelligent lawyers and managers are better prepared to face the challenges of an unstable market. We are currently about to enter into a very unstable market space. We can see that some companies are taking a lot of hits. They are letting their companies go. And then sub-Saharan countries, African and sub-Saharan countries may not have it really easy in this period. It may be tougher for some than the other. But one thing I'd like everyone of us to bear in mind that between 2008 and 2010, after the last recession, some startups were funded. Airbnb, Venmo, and I was sharing with Busola and Mr. Fola earlier this morning. That was a session about companies that came out of like that, innovations that didn't exist before, and they came out after the last recession. So how are you positioning yourself to be an advisor to one of those companies or one of those startups that may even come out of Africa? WhatsApp was one of them, Venmo, and there were about 6 that I saw, and I'm currently studying their business model and all those other things. So now is the time to be more innovative, and then to come out of our set ways of thinking, such that when we are handling crises, we are taking a lot of factors into consideration, and there's no way you can do that without leaving what your emotional brain is telling you, but relying so much on your logical brain. So that's what I was reading on this slide. As they are able to increase trust and commitment amongst their clients, employees, stakeholders, and to foster innovation and motivation. Emotional intelligence furthermore supports organizations in dealing with change. We're about to enter uncharted course. I'm telling you, murky waters, but if you're able to deploy the right skills, both soft skills, hard skills, and technical skills, you're going to come out winning, and the people you support with your services are going to come out winning as well. As a lawyer, there is need to be innovative and come up with creative solutions, and also acquire skills like emotional intelligence, adaptability, design thinking that will keep us relevant and keep us at the table where decisions are being made. So when you are not just relying on your legal skills, but you are having a combination of all these skills, it makes you a 21st century compliant lawyer. You are deploying empathy. Empathy is such a big deal. We take it for granted, and it is not sympathy. And I like what Mr. Fola did. He made the difference between both terms. Empathy is, I understand what you're going through, or even if I don't really understand it, how can I help you? I know what this is doing to you. So you are working from the point of personalization of services, and that takes you from point A to point Z. It revolutionizes how you work, how you relate to people across different industries. And then you are able to move even your clients from being 6 figures to 8 figures to 7 figures and all that. So that is one of Emotional intelligence, aside from being a life skill that helps you personalize as an individual, it begins to reflect in your work. No other soft skill does that. Emotional intelligence doesn't just revolutionize your life. It changes the way you work. It changes the way you think. It changes the way you relate to people. It changes how you manage your relationships, which is what you need when there's a crisis, which is what you need when you're in the middle of a difficult negotiation, when you're managing diverse people, cross-cultural people, with egos, with greed, with selfish interest and all that. When you're managing communications and managing so many other things. Those are the things that emotional intelligence will teach you and how you can leverage it for crisis period and negotiation period. Please, can we mute the noise, please? So that is the end of my presentation. I hope I've been able to convince you that emotional intelligence is a very important skill to acquire to navigate life now and after post-COVID-19. Thank you very much for listening, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I think we have questions. We have a number of questions here. All of you, I'm watching all of you. All of you, you said this was amazing. Mary, you people did not comment when I gave my own. I'm watching all of you in 4D, in fact, in 7D. Don't worry, I'm watching all of you. Okay, so we have questions here. Okay, I think I should okay, so let's hear you. If you have a question, can you raise your hand and then I would unmute you and you can take your questions. I think let's hear people's voices rather than just adding them chats in the chat room.
How about the questions? How about the questions in the chat?
Yes,
I will
take that. I will take that.
They're very, very nice questions there.
Somebody says, so Mary says, what do you do when you come across people who do not respect boundaries? What do you do when you come across people who do not respect boundaries? Who would take that? Joker, would you like to take that? Fola,
yeah, I mean, Busola, remember that matter I had recently with that lady who wasn't respecting boundaries and who was going on a campaign of my personality.
Yes, so you can take that.
This life, one of the things emotional intelligence has done for me as an individual and in my business is that it helps me know those who I should waste my energy on or not. And like I said, the goal is to be assertive, not aggressive. I set boundaries in place for a purpose. And when you see people begin to kick against your boundaries, it is because they are benefiting selfishly from your boundaries that you set. When you have clients who don't, if you are not a top-paying, top-dollar client or top-naira client, you cannot be calling me out of hours. I will make it clear to you. And like you know, my phone is always on silent, and it's for a reason. I get to my work, I respond to emails, I put structures in place. If you have structures in place, it becomes more difficult for people to disrespect your boundaries. For example, if you don't take personal calls on a personal number, you have a work number which is off at different times. And that's why there's WhatsApp business. There are some businesses they can't send messages to after they will say message back to maybe there's an automated message. So there are technical ways that technology has made it possible for you to deal with people who don't want to respect boundaries. Make sure that you set up structures like emails. You are using emails to communicate with such people. From the beginning, emotional intelligence, like I said, you gather data when you look at people. I could check from the beginning of that transaction that person was troublesome. I met her in the process of her being troublesome, but I thought I could make it work. And when I said it was too much, I finished the work up until now I could finish it to send the work to her. She refused to pay. I said, you know what, go. Thankfully, while she was trying to malign my character to the person who referred me to her, the person went ahead to sign a 6-figure retainership with me for a year and told me, I know she's troublesome. Don't do business with her anymore. And even put it up publicly that I'm never going to do business with this person anymore. So people can see through it. And if you know this person is troublesome, put structures in place. The person continues to breach your structure. And you know that person is not someone you want to stay with forever. Unless the money is really worth it. I will not over-extract myself. And the truth is, the people who will pay you, they will stress you. Tried and tested, proven. I don't know if other people don't pay the same way, but what I've seen so far, the people who pay the most, they don't stress you. The people who don't want to pay you top dollar or top naira are the ones who are going to stress you.
So, can you hear me?
Yes, you can.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Okay, now let me just, I know SLB and Naomi will have a smile on their face because I can be pretty unconventional in my way of thinking and speaking. And I'm emotionally intelligent, but I must say this here, being emotionally intelligent is not a right to be stupid. Because people tend to misconstrue being emotionally intelligent. Because you are emotionally intelligent, then that means you must take a BS from somebody. But like I always say, that I am emotionally intelligent is not a license for you to be stupid. I keep saying that. It's not, because you also need to understand some things that come into play again. That look, a lot of people are mad. Only very few roam the streets. You see, so just when you think that where your madness has stopped is where somebody's own is beginning from. Now, against the background of what I'm trying to explain to you, vis-a-vis emotional intelligence and drawing boundaries in anything and everything you do, professionally and personally, you must draw boundaries. Because if you don't draw boundaries, law of see finish comes into play. Now, and the way boundaries come is that it doesn't hit you at a go. It comes in trickles. Maybe you have a relationship with a client, then and then first of all, both of you are on the first name basis. It's a problem. So we also have to be very careful as professionals not to be the one to even exceed those boundaries. You understand? First of all, you're on a name-to-name basis with a client. You and the client are beginning to share personal information that you should not share within the confines of professionalism. And at the end of the day, we need to now pick up the mantle of boundaries and all that. So sometimes when we have boundaries from the side of the client, we should also look at boundaries from our own side, because it takes two to tango. It takes two to tango. So that's just what I'll add to what Naomi has said. So next question. SLB, can you just be directing the questions at either of us that will know who to take the question?
Okay. Yeah. So anybody that wants to ask, wow, somebody has given this. People are not joking. These questions are really, really. Okay, so somebody said, okay, I think we've answered. Then somebody said, what do you do when your clients are, okay, so this question is for Fola. Says, what do you do when your clients are owing you and because they feel you're angry with them or because you demanded for your money, they leave you for another lawyer without perfecting your brief?
Okay. I can't see the question. Can you say it again, please?
What do you do when your clients are owing you and because they feel you are angry with them or because you demanded for your money, they leave you for another lawyer without perfecting your brief?
Now, what you have to look at again is, what were the machineries you put in place? Number one, was there a letter of instruction? Number two, did you enter into some form of agreement, like in terms of engagement kind of thing? Because so if there is a letter of instruction, if you entered into terms of engagement, number one, number two, number three, if for any reason, so let's assume you've agreed on X professional fees, you've taken X amount, and let me tell you how this professional fees thingy works. Like here, most times here, whatever you take as a first installment, just have it at the back of your mind when you work that there's a very strong possibility that you might not get the balance. So just always balance that you get as an extra on top of it. So what's left is that, okay, fine. If you charge me 100,000, if you're going to take an installment of 50,000 or 60,000, will the 50,000 or 60,000 be enough to cover it? Then if the 40,000 does not play, will it be something that that can be let go of, which I wouldn't advise. I would not advise. To your question, what you have to do, what machineries have you put into play? If you have in terms of engagement, if you have a letter of instruction, I don't like clients. That's why most times I always adopt the first attitude of writing a letter of demand. After, if I write a letter of demand and the client still refuses to pay, now take the client to mediation. That's what I do. It's not going to court and all that. And when we get down to mediation, we agree on terms. And one of the reasons why I always advocate mediation as a means of dispute resolution is this. As a businessman, I can tell you this, and as a lawyer too, every conflict is a distraction. You can't keep fighting all your clients for every time they owe you. But when you take them through to mediation, they know that, okay, fine, we're trying to look for an amicable way of resolving issues. So back to your question, that's what I would advise you do. Just take them down to mediation. Let them agree on terms. That's it. But rather than going to court or getting the police involved, nah. Don't hold that line. Thank you.
Okay, the next question says, what do you do when you lose clients helplessly because of debt? How can you request for your money or get your money from clients without falling out with them? I think the last question as your answer has addressed it.
Yes.
So I think we'll just keep that. So if you have questions, you can unmute yourself and let's hear you. It would be nice for us to hear people's voices. Okay, so somebody says, I agree with you to a certain extent. So this question is directed at Fola. Says, I agree with you to a certain extent that clients take their matters to lawyers for results and not explanations. But I find it better to give a client a SWOT analysis of his or her matter and the various results we can try to achieve and our chances of success. We need to remember that law is not science where 2 + 2 = 4. Otherwise, the law then simply becomes a means to an end, and the lawyer will go all out to achieve a result for his or her client, even if it means engaging on professional practice, etc., as we have begun to see in the last few years. I really do not understand what this person has said. I got it from
the person was making.
I think it's a comment. It's not a question. It's a comment.
It's a comment. Okay.
It's making a comment. It's not a question.
To a large extent. This is called managing expectations.
Okay, so
what this person is doing is saying.
Can we hear him? I've unmuted you, so Tunji, can we have you?
Okay.
Yeah, it was just a comment in. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, clearly.
Yes, okay. It was just a comment in respect of what Fola was saying. I think he was mentioning something about when clients go to lawyers, they expect results. They expect results. They don't want explanations. You understand? And I was just saying, yeah, that is true. But then we have to temper that. Law is not like medicine that you say, oh, I have a cold. You understand? Oh, can I? And you go to a pharmacy, you understand? And there is a ready-made tablet or drug that you can use. Yeah, law, you have solutions, but then, as we all know, the interpretation of the law, you understand, you can take one matter, you can give to 10 different judges, and you get different interpretations. So, like you said, it's like managing, you understand, expectations of the client, and that's what I do. If a client comes to me, we sit down, we go through I listen to what he wants to say and what he wants to achieve, then put on my lawyer's cap, let him know what are the various things that we can do and what it will cost and what the chances are. I don't agree that, a client walks in and he says, oh, I want this, and then I must agree or go all out of my way to please him to achieve that. Because in trying to do that, you don't know when you will cross the line. That was all it was just a comment of mine in respect to what Fola said.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're
Thank you very much, Mr. Tunji. Yeah.
I'm done.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
I think Fola is saying something.
No. I was just thanking him. Yeah, I was thanking him for his comments.
Okay.
It's very insightful, and that's the truth. Managing expectation is very important. It's one of the things that we under the relationship management. There's an expectation under expectation management competence and emotional intelligence. There's a managing expectation, and there are 3 parameters where you see how you can assist that person with maybe the information, and this is where you say the SWOT analysis part goes into.
Okay.
Try not to be overbearing and all that. I think I'm trying to look for it in one of my notes. I came across it. So when I'm training on expectation management, I mean it's one of my go-to things where you manage expectation by seeing how you can assist that individual. Also communicate effectively and try as much as possible not to be overbearing, and as much as possible communicate within the parameters of whatever brief you've gotten. So in this context, it really works. It works.
Okay.
So
Thank
any
you.
other
If I
questions?
come across this, I can share.
James is raising a hand. Do you have questions? Okay, I would unmute you.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, with regards to Adejoke's lecture, I want to just know why talking about setting boundaries, right?
Yes.
Why talking about? Okay, sorry. He talked about setting boundaries. The guy, I've forgotten his name. Sorry, I joined very late. I've been trying.
Fola.
So
I'm here.
Fola,
I'm just wondering what phone she's
I
using. That
just
she's
want
so clear.
to.
This has been the clearest call I've had so far.
She
So
joined late, so she doesn't. She has a question. She joined in late, so she has a question.
I know. I mean, she's so clear. I can hear her clearly. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. We can
All
hear
right.
you. We can hear you.
Okay, I just want to know what you mean, as in what are the boundaries ordinarily. I'm actually a young lawyer. I just want
Now, if you want to
to be
know what,
set in a legal
okay. When we're talking about boundaries, yeah, I'm just going to ask you some questions. Yeah, you agree with me that your friend is not your colleague, right?
My friend is not my colleague.
Yeah, do you agree with me?
Yes, my friend is not my colleague, but my friend can also be my colleague.
No, your friend cannot. Your friend can also be your colleague, but your friend is not your colleague. Meaning that someone you work with in your office, who is your colleague, cannot be termed to be your friend. You know that, right?
Okay.
So that's a problem. So if you cannot distinguish between a friend and a colleague, a customer, a client and a friend, then that means that every once in a while you might be falling into that trap. So you need to understand what makes someone your friend. You need to understand what makes somebody a colleague. You need to understand what makes someone a client and what makes somebody a customer. So you cannot now. So if you're not going to adopt this into business, if your friend comes to meet you for a professional service, chances are that you're going to give your friend some kind of discount. But you cannot compare the discount you will give your friend to the discount that you give a client. Do you agree with me? Hello, Joke, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello?
James.
Okay, yeah. So the point is this, yeah. Yeah. So this is what we're talking about, boundaries. You need to understand what a boundary is. So when you understand what a boundary is, then you can be able to adopt it. So it just clearly has to do with, okay, fine, knowing the parameters that have to do with being a client, knowing the parameters that has to do with being a friend. So the way you can go drinking with a friend, say all sorts to a friend and all that, you cannot afford to do that with a client because a client has something in mind. Don't forget that what brings you, the relationship you have with a client is because of an expectation. That expectation, you must never lose sight of that expectation, which is why irrespective of how close you are to a client, when it comes down to payment for goods and services, the client will demand premium from you. They would always demand premium from you. So I don't know whether I've been able to, I mean, I've explained in detail. I just need you to just clearly understand the distinction between who a client is, who a customer is, who a friend is, and who is a colleague, and who a colleague is. In understanding this distinction, you'll be able to know how to deal with them.
Okay.
Sorry, let me ask.
Okay, go ahead.
For instance, I understand Igbo language. And most clients that come to me, from speaking English, they want to if they want to relate to me in the language, and I flow with them So I don't know if you can just give me 3 to 5 boundaries to be set and all that, because I don't know, because
Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example.
Okay.
I have a client. Before becoming a client, we were we were attending the same home fellowship, right? We attended the same home fellowship, and then he got to know that I'm a lawyer, and then he said, okay, please, can you be my lawyer managing some properties for me? Interestingly, this particular friend, who has now become a client, is also
I can't hear you. What happened?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we can hear you now.
So this particular client who, this particular friend who has now become a client, we also share the same surname. He's Ajala, I am Ajala. So there are a lot of things that, makes us well connected. But whenever it comes to me for the client relationship stuff, I make it professional. When I am sending in messages, I am sending it in a professional manner. I am, sending emails. I am putting documents together and forwarding to him. Even if at the end of the day, we will still talk via WhatsApp to say, I sent this thing to you, I've done this, so we'll still gist and all of that. But when it comes to the job itself, he knows me. I am stern. I am firm on the job. I go all professional with him. If it comes to our relationship, our friendship, right? We are friends. I can even call him, send me something, send me this. But when it comes to the job itself, I am very professional, and he also knows and understands that. So a day came, he wanted me to do something else for him, which is different from my retainership. And then he sent it to me, and he didn't want to pay. He wanted me to do it free. What did I do? I sent him back a response in a very professional manner, saying, we have received your brief, and we will look into it. However, these are the things for us to move ahead with your brief. This is, our professional fee for this brief. And he came back to say, he came out to say, I can't afford it for now. And I said, no problem. He wanted to take advantage of our relationship. He wanted to take advantage of my attorney-client relationship for me to begin to do another free job. I said no. But I did not say no outrightly. I made it in a professional manner. We have received your brief. Thank you for briefing us. We have received your brief. We are reviewing your brief. But for us to continue with your brief, you need to make professional fees in the sum of so, and so. And he didn't pay. He said he can't pay. But till today, are we still friends? Yes. Am I still working for them? Yes. Did we have any issues? No. So the way to maintain those boundaries is for you to go professional. There are a lot of clients that I speak with in my native language. I gist with them. But when it comes to the job, you do the job like a professional. You don't mix pleasure. You don't mix pleasure with it. Say, we are gisting. You don't begin to send, correspondences in an unprofessional manner. Okay, so I'm on another board presently, and so the HR on that board was going to send out a communication to another member of the board. And the HR sent that communication by WhatsApp. And in fact, even introducing herself, she introduced herself in, the way we have our WhatsApp name now, you don't have your full. That's why I ensure that even on my WhatsApp, my name is Busola Ajala. That's my name, So having, names like Busi Queen, T-Boy, and all of that. For me, on WhatsApp, I don't do this. I feel it's unprofessional because I still have some professional, relationship on my WhatsApp. So my name is Busola Ajala there, right? So as I was saying, so this HR personnel introduced herself by our WhatsApp name. Your WhatsApp name is different from your name. My name is, imagine that, okay, so take for instance, my WhatsApp name is Busikwe. But Busikwe is not my professional name. My professional name is Busola Ajala. So why would I introduce myself to a client as Busikwe? Do you get? So those little things are the places you would draw boundaries. And I had to point it out to this HR personnel that you don't do that. And, at the end of the day, we said this communication went out in a wrong way, in a wrong manner. This next time, this is how you have to deal with it. So in establishing boundaries, the first thing you need to do is go professional. Ensure that your communication, your relationship, everything is professional. Let them know you that when it comes to work, this is how we will do it. But when we want to play, we want to gist, we can play, but we'll come back to work and do it professionally. I don't know if that answers your question. Do we have any other person that wants to contribute? Chaka, do you have anything to say? to that.